So who and what are you? Let's ask the first question. Are you your body? Are you this physical body? I used to think I was my body. I used to think that's who I am. I'm born, I die, I'll be dust, that's it. Then I had a near-death experience, and the very first thought I had was, oh, so I'm not my body, because I was aware of myself and I knew I wasn't in my body. So I don't ask you to necessarily immediately believe me on that one if you don't, but open your mind to, what if you were more than that? What if you weren't your body? What if you could experience yourself as something else, something greater than? So that moves me to, are we our emotions, our feelings? And the feelings hold great keys actually, and ways to expand into the fullness of your being. So let's have a look at that. Are you your emotions? So imagine this cup here, that in this cup, this lovely tea, is the emotions. Just emotions there, just an ocean of emotions. And then what happens is, I'm just going to plop this man in. Often what happens is we are there feeling like we're drowning in emotion. We think it's what we are, we're caught in it, and we can't see any way out. And then we either ignore it, we suppress it, we push it down, we distract ourselves, but we don't just allow ourselves to feel. And as I was saying to you, the secret is in the feeling. Then what happens is we manage to turn ourselves over. We take a breath as we start to breathe, and we start to see, oh, hang on a minute, I can breathe. I'm not face down, plunged into these emotions. And then what happens is we start to climb out, and we create some distance between ourselves and these emotions. And then your freedom comes as you become the witness to your emotions. So as you hop up on the edge of the teacup and instead are looking down. So you can do the same with yourself, that you actually are looking down on yourself, that you realise you are not the emotions. So we are not the body, we are not the emotions. Well, are we our thinking then? That is the best way that I can example to you that no, we're not our thoughts. They're a box. They're a box that keep us trapped. Programming, false ideas, limiting ideas, all these things and things that we think we are just not true. They're not what we are. So awakening to your true self is much more of a letting go than it is learning anything new actually. And we want to come to see all of the unconscious things which are unwittingly stopping us being the pure loving essence that we are. So if this is resonating with you, I'd love you to come and play with me and hang out with me. Check out my website, wendy-harrington.com. On there you'll find resources, meditations. I've made a video series of my first book, which was called Process and Prosper, because that was the very first thing I learned actually, was my avoidance of emotions. There is an ocean of emotion, and we have created a split between these ones are okay and these ones aren't okay. And that's like one of the biggest traps. It totally keeps us stuck, because your emotions are your guidance system. They are how you hear and connect with and know when you are not being your full, true, authentic self. And any time that you are not fully filled with absolute freaking joy, you are not being your full, authentic self. You are pure love. You are limitless potential. That's what you truly are. If you want to remember that, come and hang out with me. So check out the website. If you're ready to deep dive, come and join me on my virtual online 2-day live event, where we'll be looking at all the pieces of the puzzle. We'll be looking at where we get in our own way, how we can get out of our way. Because the thing is, the thinking is not the solution. We think and think and think and think and think and think and think, and we go round and round, and we come up with some pretty bloody clever ideas that we think, yes, that has liberated me. Has it though? No, it freaking doesn't, does it? There is more. There is more. And actually it's a letting go of thinking. It's a rolling with and letting go of emotions, coming into a full flow such that you allow the fullness of your being to arise. And then from that space, you are guided, you just know there's clarity, there's peace, there's joy, there's vibrancy. It's just the most beautiful place. And I want everyone in the world to live from that place, because that is where the world will change. But it starts with us. We are the ones that have the power. We are the ones that are doing this to ourselves. And what I'll leave you with is, when I had my near-death experience, I had the flesh-eating bug, necrotizing fasciitis, more commonly known as the flesh-eating bug or the flesh-eating disease. If you've read my memoir, From Vegas to the Pearly Gates, you will know my story. If you haven't, it's a great read. But what happened was, 2 years before I was ill, critically ill, I had a tarot card reading, and the lady pointed at my lower abdomen and she said, "You have a dark area there. It's mother issues, and if you don't sort it out, you'll be ill." Well, at that point, I had no idea about energy, healing, none of it, right over my head. But 2 years later, I had an emergency cesarean section following the birth of my third child, and then I contracted necrotizing fasciitis. I lost my womb and ovaries, 2/3 of the flesh on my torso, and was critically ill and had the near-death experience at that time. So it has been the most amazing experience, because that really sparked a change, right? But here's the thing. You don't have to have a near-death experience to connect with that which is greater, your infinite self. Because I have also experienced it when I was just doing a retreat and I was in a period of silence. So scratch that one. We don't have to be dramatic. We don't have to nearly die. It's safe. We can get here right from here, right? Now, here's the other piece though, which is absolutely key, is I know I did it to myself. I rejected the feminine, and therefore then all of that conflict was within this energy system, and then what happened was it manifested as that. I see that so clearly, because what that means is we have all the power. We are powerful creators, creating our reality. And where we mistakenly look outside and want the changes to happen out there, we are the ones that will make the changes. We are the ones that are perpetuating the cycle of suffering. And we need to realise that that's what we're doing, because that's where we liberate ourselves. And that's where something else beautiful can be born into the world. And not long after I'd come home from hospital, so I glimpsed this, all that is, in that moment of near death. And then not long after I'd been home from hospital, it came again. I woke with a sentence on repeat in my mind. And then I got up and I started writing, and it was like taking dictation. I was just hearing words and I was just writing them down. And what it said was, there is love and fear and everything else kind of in between. And that it's really important as humanity that you choose love in order to create a different experience. But you are unwittingly choosing fear. At the time, I didn't fully comprehend that, but now I do. We are unwittingly choosing fear. We are not fully aligned with love. So let's fully align with love, because then we get a very different experience of what this life is. So much love from me to you. If this has been touched a point in you, then come and connect with me. Share it with your friends if it's resonating. Let's all find our way home. So much love.